From the wild north in bonny Scotland to the busy streets and parks of inner city London. This is Gundogs and Guard Dogs, the ultimate podcast dedicated to talking sense about dogs with Les Graham and Ross McCarthy. And both are passionate about dogs, people, education and exploring the fascinating world of the dog. But one specialises in gun dogs and the other prefers guard dogs. And yes, just like their dogs, they are as different as chalk and cheese. They bring you valuable insights and honest conversations about the social predator you share your home with. So here we go. About 45 minutes of gun dogs, guard dogs, good dogs, some maybe not so good dogs, and a dash of gossip.
Happy New Year!
I was waiting for you to say something. Happy New Year, Mr. McCarthy.
Mrs. Graham.
Indeed. Did you have a good one?
I did. Thank you very much. Had a lovely festive foodie time.
Festive foodie, huh? Let me just move my mic.
Yeah, eating my body weight in chocolate. How about you?
I haven't eaten my body weight in chocolate, but I only had actually 2 mince pies.
Oh, I didn't have any mince pies.
I love them. They're my thing. But I'll tell you what I did have, and which was amazing. I had it twice actually. I had it once with a friend and then once with Kenny. And sorry, I'm fiddling about on my screen. And that was there's a really good garden centre here. And there's lots of really good garden centres. But one of the things they did was a festive panini, which was turkey and bacon and brie and cranberry.
Nice.
It was amazing. You bit into it and the brie just kind of ran down your chin.
Nice. And did you have your festive burger that you were planning?
Oh, and I told you about it.
No.
It was disgusting.
Oh, was it?
No, it was lovely, but I was ill for 2 days after. It was so heavy.
Oh God, all that excitement and anticipation.
It was it was amazing. It was a solid beef burger, and then it had shredded, I think it was ham hock on it.
All right.
And then it had onion bread, which was just like compressed onion fried.
Nice.
It was. The chips, I should have gone chunky chips because I don't like little fries. And it was in a brioche bun, and it was like, how on earth do you get your mouth around that? Honestly, it was huge. So I took the onion bread out, took something else out. And it's that kind of thing where you think, this is really good and I'm really full, but I've got half of it to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 days later, I was still pretty rough off it. It wasn't so much a stone in the stomach than a wodge of concrete. It was that. Do you know what I mean?
Great big lump of onion bread and beef.
But it was really good. It was really tasty. But
no, not to just to
it wasn't worth what we paid for it, and it was too heavy for me.
Yeah.
For me, I don't eat red meat very often. It was too, but it was the first 3 mouthfuls was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know what? And then but you don't pay for a meal like that and then eat 3 mouthfuls and leave it, do you?
No, you don't. You stuff it down despite feeling uncomfortable and full.
You do. And the pudding, I did have a pudding, I can't remember what it was, but it was nothing to write home about.
Oh, at least you had it.
Disappointing. My festive panini was much nicer.
Yeah, it sounds a bit lighter actually, that.
It was really nice. I had it once at the beginning of December and then once New Year's Eve, me and Kenny went out for lunch.
Nice. Is that the sort of thing you sort of fantasize about, isn't it? Going back for another.
And it was just as nice. It was just as nice. And then I got an Empire biscuit to take away.
What's that? What's an Empire biscuit?
An Empire bit, right? Okay, so I hadn't clicked that the Empire biscuit was to do with the British Empire.
Right.
Until I gave it to Kenny and says, "Can you hold that?" He went, "I'm holding that." And he held it and he says, "It's burning my hands. I can't hold it." And then I got what he was on about, that it was to do with the British Empire.
And what is it?
It's like butter biscuits, you know, the really crumbly butter biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
You've got really, really crumbly butter biscuit, and then you've got jam, and then you've got, I think it's a little bit of that really vile icing sugar that you made when you were a kid. You mix ice and sugar with water to cover your biscuits with. Do you remember when you were a kid?
Yeah.
Did you do that with your mum?
Did it at school, I think.
Okay, so you've got the jam, then you've got that really like ice and sugar in water, and then you've got another butter crumbly biscuit, and then you've got more of the watery icing sugar on top,
Yeah.
and then you have the cherry.
Oh,
That's red, white, and blue.
what'd you buy that for?
It was delicious. They're really good. Until you've had an Empire biscuit, don't knock them. They're kind you bite. They're a bit like the Viennese whirls. You know, you bite them, they just melt in your mouth.
Yeah, I don't like them much either.
Oh, I don't buy an Empire biscuit because they're them, but way more intense.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not a big fan. No, I'll stick to my endless boxes of Thornton's chocolate and gallons of wine.
No, I don't do Thorntons.
Oh, don't you?
I don't like Thorntons chocolate.
Oh, I don't like. Oh, yeah, I like anything. Any box of chocolate's good.
So what did you eat then that was special over Christmas, apart from Thornton's chocolates?
Yeah, about that really. No, I had a couple of nice lunches out. Actually, went to some nice restaurants and had some nice lunch. Did have a nice burger. I had a couple of nice burgers. I tend to go for that on the menu at the minute. Like if there's a burger, I tend to opt for that.
Uh-huh.
Having not eaten meat for years. Yeah, no, I've had some nice burgers. I suppose they were the highlight.
What kind of burgers? Can you always, because we used to have the black and blue, didn't we? Can you always go for like a Mexican burger?
No, one of them, it was a chicken burger actually, had like coleslaw and stuff in the bun, and some sweet chili jam or sweet chili sauce.
Nice.
That was really nice. And then the other one was it wasn't a festive burger, it was just a burger. But that was really nice. That was over at a restaurant near Banbury.
In Oxford.
In Oxford, yeah, I met a couple of
Nice.
colleagues for Christmas lunch. So yeah, it was nice.
Brilliant.
So, yeah, burgers were the highlight for sure.
Sorry, I'm just moving around because my dog's falling asleep with his paws right under my chair.
Well, in the chair.
Do you remember those sweet chili wraps?
Yeah, they're from what was it called? The
Food gallery.
food gallery. Yeah, they were nice, weren't they?
It was special. Yeah.
Sweet chili chicken wraps.
God, yeah. We're getting on the food and we need to get off food again.
I know.
It should be like forget dog training, let's just talk about food.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to think of something that rhymes with Gundogs foodie, but I can't. So
Gundog.
Gundog and hot dog.
What puddings did you have? What nice puddings did you have?
Oh, nothing. I don't do puddings when I'm out.
Well, you just go home and have a half a box of Thornton's chocolate.
Yeah, come home and binge my way through the kitchen cupboards. Yeah, no, I don't. I'll never have. Funny, no. Always at home, I'll have something sweet after dinner. But when I'm out, no, I never have dessert.
Oh, I always have pudding. It's the other way around. Always have dessert when I'm out.
Yeah, no, never do.
Huh?
No, not interested.
I'll tell you what I do have at home, which is really yummy, is a cup of tea and some Galaxy at the same time. So you put the Galaxy in your mouth and then you drink your tea.
Yeah. Do you not suck through what are those? They're like a Twix. Suck your tea through a Twix.
No. One of the girls on the course Lucy, she would suck hot chocolate through a bourbon biscuit.
Yeah.
No.
No, sucking your tea through a Twix is nice.
Do you do that?
Well, don't do that. I have done that, but I don't do it regularly.
Okay, no, a square of Galaxy in your mouth with a hot cup of tea.
Yeah, well, I'm
85% dark chocolate with a black coffee.
Yeah, I bet that's nice, actually.
It's really nice, like velvet.
Yeah, I bet that's really nice. No, I won't be doing any of that through January. I won't be doing anything nice relating to food or drink. Doing dry January, which will be thoroughly miserable because it's miserable already.
I know. It's like, it's a funny, this week is just trying to get back into work this morning. I've got homework to mark today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, which homework have I got tomorrow? Which one's getting IQA'd first? I'll mark that one first. It's
It's hard getting back into it, and I think it's for January for a lot of people is quite a hard month, isn't it? Quite depressed. The weather's not very nice. We've had all the celebrations, then we've got to stop drinking and stop eating and back to work. It's quite, yeah, yuck. When is it? Next Monday, isn't it? Is the most depressing day of the year or something?
well, they say it, but it's Blue Monday.
Mm.
Blue Monday. It was devised by the travel agents to get people to buy holidays.
Oh,
And so
okay.
like, oh, everyone's really depressed after Christmas. Here, we'll do a sale and let's get people booking holidays. And so it's called Blue Monday.
And isn't that the day that everybody phones in sick from work just because they can't bear to get out of
Sunday
bed?
going back, I
Yeah,
don't
it's not
know. But
fair.
I know Blue Monday was like a travel thing initially. So people book holidays because they're really down.
Yeah,
I've never been affected by the winter until I moved to Scotland. And I couldn't understand, like, our first year, we were really excited to be up here. And everyone was taking off in February for holidays, and all going off and finding winter sun. And it's like, really? Like, I was in Rockwire, half the Rockwire girls that go off on holiday,
yeah.
And then by the time year 3 came, I thought, oh, God, it's like months before the summer.
Yeah. No, and you get it quite bad, don't you? Cold and for a long period of time.
Yeah, but if you look at the weather app, the Met Office's weather app at the bottom, it tells you the sunrises and the sunsets.
Yeah.
And when I think, oh God, winter, I go to the bottom and look at the sunrise and the sunset, and you can see. So, like today, sun rose at 8:44 and it sets at 15:56.
3:45 in the afternoon, geez.
I know, but on Monday, next Monday, it's going to rise at 8:42 and set at 16:02. So it's after 4 o'clock that it sets in a week's time.
No, that's good.
So that's what I look at.
It's like a
When
minute
does
either
it
end of the
set
day.
down with you? Sorry?
It's like a minute either end of the day, isn't it? Like daily.
Yeah, an extra minute. Oh my God. So for you, you're ahead of us. So for you, sunrise is 8:06 and it's 4:02 for you today. So you're 5 minutes ahead of us you've got 5 minutes more daylight either side than what we have.
Yeah. You wouldn't. Yeah, well, that's better than nothing, isn't it? But it's when you get up in the morning, isn't it? You sort of have to hang about and wait to walk the dogs because it's dark.
Yeah, you change your routine.
Mm. Yeah, well, I try and stay in bed longer. I think, oh, dark outside.
Well, I'm getting up at 7 o'clock at the minute with this writing.
Oh, see, you're good. You see, I lay in bed and I think, well, I could get up and do something productive. But I think, like, oh, it's 5 o'clock or it's 6 o'clock. I don't want to. So I just lay there worrying about everything instead of like you do, waiting for the daylight.
No, my
But
alarm goes off at 5:30.
you set an alarm for that. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah, but I'm writing at the minute, so I have to. Otherwise, I
Oh
don't write.
God. No, I don't do that. No. Oh, if I have to go out, if I'm going out somewhere and I have to get up, I don't like that either. Like setting your alarm for 6 o'clock or something. Not in the
Yeah,
dark.
I'm
I
fine.
just don't like it.
No, get up, do workout, have a coffee, always have a coffee, do my workout, and then make another coffee and sit and write.
Good for you. Do your dogs get up or do they just look at you like you're
Oh,
bonkers?
they don't even lift their head. I've got a video of me going into the office at 6 o'clock, and you just get a little,
Oh dear, little
that's
tail
it,
flap.
just the tail banging on the bed. And sometimes Dante won't even open his eyes. He'll just wait for me to go give him a stroke.
Yeah. No, mine don't. If I get up early, mine just look at me like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? It's still dark. This is not nothing happening here.
So are you feeding them like first thing? Because my routine has completely changed. So I get up and then I write and then I feed them at about 7:30 and then I walk them at about 10, 10:30.
Oh, do you? No, I don't. No, I don't. Well, it's only Okan has breakfast. The others don't, and I'll stop that soon. He's a year old.
Oh, you
So,
only feed once a day, don't you?
yeah, so I have one meal
Oh
in
my
the
God, the Gundogs would feel as if their throats had been slit.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to phase Okan's out. How old? Oh, I was going to say, when do you stop feeding them 2 meals a day? But you don't, do you?
Well, Emerson's on 3 meals a day still because he drops weight too quick.
See, Okan's very slim, but yeah, he's still having breakfast at the moment. So he has his breakfast, and then about I don't know 7ish or whatever.
And then you walk them afterwards.
Yeah, about well when it
After.
gets light after 8.
So okay, so talking dog food, how do your big dogs cope? Because like Emrys, if I feed him, um, because I've tried it a couple of times to get him off that lunchtime feed
Yeah.
and increase his breakfast and increase his dinner. Yeah. Go straight through him.
Oh, does it?
Go straight through him and then he drops weight. So for me to get the same amount of food in him that he needs to maintain his weight, I have to give him that lunchtime food.
That's the faff, isn't it?
It's a fact.
Well, it is especially because you feed raw, don't you? So you have to make sure it's all defrosted and you've got it all
Yeah.
prepared. Whereas I don't. I get my food out in the morning and then it's ready in the evening.
Well, Kenny gets the dog food out in the night and we leave it on the bench to defrost overnight and then just goes in the fridge in the Tupperware dish.
Yeah. I put mine in the sink or on the side. This time of year, sometimes I have to put it in hot water or warm water.
Okay.
Whereas obviously in the summer, it's not a thing, is it? Go in the fridge.
So how do your dogs cope? I mean, if you must have to give them like a huge, how much food do they get? Like how much food Hugo on? Because Hugo and Emrys are the same age, aren't they?
Yeah. So they're all on roughly a kilo.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roughly a kilo. So some days they'll have more, some days I don't measure it out because they have quite a lot of bone content. So they have like lamb ribs and chicken carcasses and duck wings and stuff like that. Most days with their prepared food as well. So I don't know how much they have really. I tend to defrost 500 or 750 grams of food, and then they'll have maybe some fish with it and some lamb ribs or something like that. So, and then if they put on a bit of weight, then I reduce it for a few days, and if they lose weight, I up it.
Where do you feed them the lamb ribs and stuff? Are they out in the garden?
Yeah, in the garden.
What if it's raining?
In the garden.
Okay, I'm too soft.
I've always fed my dogs. I always feed them in the garden. Forever, I think I've fed the dogs in the garden.
So what if what if you've got like torrential rain?
If it's absolutely sleeting down, then yes, I'd feed them in the house.
But generally it's outside.
Yeah. If it's like
I need to toughen up because I feed them in the kitchen, but then you end up with marks on the skirting board.
Oh, do you? Yeah, no, I don't. To be honest with you, they're only out there. Really, it's seconds, isn't it? They're not out there for hours.
Well, not if they're sitting down eating a rib bone, eating like rack ribs.
It doesn't take them long to eat their ribs.
It takes Emrys, they just eat your duck neck.
Oh no, mine don't. Mine are great big heads, and they great big heads, big teeth. They can chomp through. I mean, the power of the jaws are amazing. I mean, when you I've given them like a frozen lump of.
Oh, do you still feed sheep heads?
No, I don't feed sheep or pig's heads. But no, I've given them like a frozen block of food, like prepared raw food, and their jaws. I mean, you couldn't get a knife through it, you couldn't break it with your hands, but their jaws just chomp, 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 and it's gone, isn't it?
Do you give them that in the summer?
Do I give them Ann Summers?
No. Do you give them frozen in the summer?
No. The only time they have frozen is if I'm away or whatever, and it just hasn't defrosted. But no, I
Okay, so
tend
it's
not to
not
give them
like to cool
frozen.
them down or anything.
No, I tend not to give them frozen stuff. But no, just occasionally if I've been traveling up, to Stoneleigh or whatever, then the food hasn't defrosted in the car, so they'll have it then.
Okay. I think I probably need to toughen up because the amount of food they're getting through and it's only when it's really nice that I put them in the garden with a rib or something. But I
Yeah,
live in Scotland, so it's not really
no,
nice very often. Whereas when we lived in Marlborough, I used to chuck them in the garden with a bone,
yeah,
3 or 4 times a week, and it was fine, like with a rib or a duck neck.
that's nice. I mean, I try. I don't do it very often actually. I order like big knuckle bones because I think that's really nice. They're in the garden for hours with that, and obviously this time of
Yeah,
year I don't do it. It's wet
no.
and horrible, so they don't have that. But I try in the summer and the spring and stuff to do that, and it's nice then because literally they're outside for like 3 or 4 hours, just having the best time,
Mhm.
um, cleaning their teeth.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to phone the butcher tomorrow and see if they can get me some duck necks. And where'd you get your duck necks?
I don't. I order my food from Honey's.
Yeah, I've been getting them from Honey's.
Yeah,
And the racks of ribs are amazing as
the
well.
lamb ribs are fantastic, aren't they?
Huge, huge.
They're really nice. So they have quite a lot of that. Hugo has a little bit of a sort of propensity to have a little bit of a runny stomach occasionally. So those I find the higher bone, giving them higher bone content, you get much nicer poo. So touch wood, I don't have a
Okay,
poo problem.
okay, okay. No, if I give, well, I think that's what I need to do because if I give Emrys too much meat, it goes through. I think I need to give
Yeah.
him.
Well, I did. A friend of mine, she goes to the abattoir and gets meat and said to me, "Would you like some?" She gets chicken carcasses and this meat in a bag. And so I said, "Oh yeah, because it's quite cheap and whatever." So I went and picked it up. I had to sling some of it away because it was not didn't agree with with Hugo at all. The others were okay, but no. And then all the bags got stuck together in the freezer. I don't know what that's all about. So I had these great big bags all stuck together, and you can't get them apart. So you'd have to defrost more than you needed, and it was a right
Oh,
faff.
I used to, in when we lived in New Zealand, you could get big bags of like chicken necks in the
Yeah,
supermarket.
yeah.
And pet shop, you would just get like these huge size. Or the amount of times I used to come home and just divvy them all up in the little freezer bags, and they look like I'm not going to tell you what they look like.
Oh God. No, it's not pleasant. I
Like
remember
have
when,
this handful of chicken necks that look like little, yes.
yeah. No, it takes some getting used to, doesn't it? I remember a long time ago when we first started feeding raw food at the kennels, we used to have trotters.
Oh, I can't. Oh, I used to give my dog when I was 13 a trotter, and I couldn't do it now.
No, I don't ever do that now. Partly because a friend of mine's dog, a German Shepherd, swallowed the whole thing, got it stuck, and that just put me off. And no, I used to feed them, but when we first started, I used to look and they're like little hands, aren't they? And I just
They're like
thought
little hands,
it took me
yeah.
ages to touch that. But no, it's like anything, I suppose you get a little bit immune to it, don't you?
No.
No,
I
not
remember the
trotter.
first time I gave Bart a chicken carcass, he was like, yes, and he swallowed it in one.
Oh God, no, nightmare.
And then he brought it up and you could see, like he was retching and you could see the tummy going right up under the rib cage as he was trying to bring it up. And then it was like something out of like Harry Potter where he turns into the snake, or you see the snakes and the swallow food and you could see this chicken
Yeah.
cock coming back up his neck. And I was like, oh my, and it came out and it was how on earth he got that down and then got it back up again. I don't know.
And what did you do then? Chew it?
Yeah, he sat down it properly.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. No, that's quite horrible, isn't it? That's awful,
Yeah.
that is. Do you feed rabbit ears and stuff?
No,
You can't do that.
no, I'm not giving my dogs fluffy bunny ears.
I do mine have those. They have them at bedtime. They have like a little rabbit ear when I go to bed.
Oh, okay. Let me just go and tuck my dogs in with a fluffy bunny ear.
Yeah, they have their little rabbit ear. But I can't do
No,
cow's ears. Someone gave me some cow's ears. I can't be doing that.
do you do the usual night birds? Do you?
No.
Do you do the little puffed up crow's feet, chicken's feet?
Um, they have had them. Yeah, they've had some raw chicken feet as well, but they've got little, tiny little nails.
They have.
Like,
They have some of them have got big nails.
dang.
They're called the spurs. So if it's a cockerel, it's got a big spur. And they used to put, like when they do cockfighting, they've got a metal spur that goes over the spur
Yeah,
when they fight. They're like the dew claw.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I don't. No, they do. They do occasionally have chicken feet, but I don't have too much other than their normal food rich. I mean, most of it's raw and
I don't put Kenny through it. He's like, he doesn't like birds. And I think
no.
asking him to give the dogs chicken feet is kind of one step too far, really.
Yeah, no, I don't like birds, but I can cope with that. I can cope with the chicken feet.
No.
I had when Ocon was a puppy, very young. He was I don't know how old, not 5 months probably. I was sitting in the kitchen and he came in with a pigeon in his mouth.
Uh-huh. Big bully.
Where the hell that came? It didn't. Well, I didn't where it came from. That was horrible. I had to. Oh, that was horrible. I had to clear it up. It was the feathers on the floor, and that was
Or was it
gross.
dead? Did he kill it?
No, it was half alive when it came in, and I thought I don't know what to do with this, so I just left it, uh, and then I had to get rid of it, which is not pleasant.
No. The funny one for me, and we'll get on new dogs in a sec, but the funny one for me was I was out and Callum phoned when he first moved up to Scotland, and there was two missed calls from him. And, oh God, he had my car. You know, he was on the
Oh
Pathfinder,
no!
and he said, "Oh, something's happened." So I phoned him up and I says, "What's happened?" And he says, "Well, the first time I phoned you was because I hit a crow
Oh
and you didn't know what to do." And he phoned me to ask me if I had the priest in my car.
oh
Do you know what a priest is?
yeah yeah
Yeah. So, and because I keep a priest in the back of the passenger door, the back of the passenger seat, you know, just in case anything like that happens. And I said, so what was the second phone call for? He says, well, I went back and checked it was dead, and it was dead. And I got halfway up the road and I thought, oh, I wonder if my mum wants that for dog training.
oh God! Is that why he phoned you to see if you wanted it?
So the first time it was see if I had a priest, just in case he hadn't killed it, he was going to go back and
Oh,
kill it.
God.
And then the second one, it was like, oh, I wonder if she needs this for gun dog training.
Oh my God, that's sweet. It reminds me years ago, a woman I used to work with, she'd run over a rabbit and it was hanging out the grill of her car.
Oh,
And yeah, she didn't know what to do. She's like, well, can you take it out? I was like, absolutely not. No, go and ask someone else. Either leave it there or get someone else to do it. I'm absolutely not getting involved with that.
I mean, just in case anybody who's listening and they're driving around like through forests and stuff, if you do a search for the local gamekeeper, put them in your phone, because if you hit a deer, the gamekeeper will come out and dispatch them for you.
Oh, that's good to know.
So I had two gamekeepers in my, because I used to drive through the Savnak all the time, and the deer and the Savnak just used to jump out in front of the car. And
Hmm.
yeah, there's normally a gamekeeper around that will come out and dispatch a deer if you hit a deer, rather than leaving it at the side of the road, you know, dying with broken legs or whatever.
Oh God, that's
They'll come out
horrible.
and dispatch it for you.
Yeah. No, it's horrible. I was out just, I think it might have been Christmas Day actually, walking the dogs, and there was this little young fox was kind of just sitting there, you know, by the river, and I don't know whether it had fallen in the river or something had happened, but yeah, and there's not a lot of places you can go to get help for that, is there? Like there was a place called the Fox Project, but they don't cover this area. Um,
You could have phoned the RSPCA, and they would have come and collected it.
yeah, well, they don't.
Did they not?
No,
Oh God,
supposed
did
to,
I
aren't
tell you
they?
about the duck?
No.
Do you want to talk dogs, or do you want me to tell you about the duck?
Tell me about the duck, and then we'll talk about New Year plans for the dogs.
Okay, so you know how Kenny doesn't like birds, okay?
Yeah.
So Let me get comfortable. This is a good story. So I was going out with the dogs, okay? And literally, you're literally 15, 20 foot maybe, and you're on the track out of the house. You go out the back, out the gate, across the road, and you're on the track. But I was walking down with the two dogs. They were on lead still. And I got on the track, and there was this little duck sitting in the middle of the track, you see.
Mm-hmm.
And Dan immediately went into picking up mode. Emrys went, "Whoa, this is interesting." So we got close to the duck, and it was really injured. It couldn't put its leg down properly. So I phoned Kenny and said, "Are you busy? Can you bring me a towel down? There's an injured duck on the track." And I thought, I can't leave it because there's going to be a dog who'll get hold of it and tear it apart.
Yeah.
Foxes will tear it apart. So Kenny came down with a towel. I gave him the dogs, and the blooming thing went in a puddle. So I ended up chucking the towel over the duck when it was in the puddle, you see. So I picked it up, wrapped it up in this towel, and I said to Kenny, "Right, do you want the duck or do you want the dog?" So he took the duck.
Oh, he took the duck.
He took the duck. It was wrapped up with a towel. It couldn't do anything. It was just hissing a bit. So he took the duck, and I went down. I took the dogs for a quick walk, and I phoned the vets, and I said, "I've got an injured duck." And they said, "We can't help you. It's wildlife. Phone the SSPCA." So I phoned the SSPCA. So I've got an injured duck. Can somebody come and help me with it? "Oh, yeah, okay, we'll be along soon." So got home, took the duck off Kenny, put the puppy crate up, put some vet bed in it, put the duck in, put the cover over it, thinking, it's going to get its neck through the crate. Put some water in for it. SSPCA turned up with her little crate, little cat box thing. Opened the door, I was grinning away, and she says, "You do know I'm going to destroy it." And I says, "What?" "I've just rescued this duck." And she says, "Yeah, we've got the bird flu was prevalent."
Oh, was it?
"Yeah, we've got bird flu. We've got to kill all the wild birds. We can't." And she says, "You can." And she says, "I wondered why you were smiling." And this as well. "Nobody told me that you were going to come and destroy the duck."
No.
And she said, "Well, you can take, because there's a lock like 500 yards at the top of the road. There's a lock, a little duck pond lock thing." And she says, "You can take it up there and let it go if you want." I says, "Well, I can't let it go if there's a chance it's got bird flu, because then it's going to kill all the birds at the lock." And she says, "Oh, what do you want to do?" And I says, "Well, you're going to have to take it and kill it then, aren't you?"
Oh, God.
"Really?"
Oh, that's hideous, isn't it?
"Yeah." So
Oh,
I put Kenny through this trauma. "Here, I have a duck wrapped in a towel."
yeah. Oh, we could have just left it where it was to take its chances.
I could have left it where it was. I could have taken its chances, but then it could have infected the lock and killed all the ducks and the parrots.
Well, it probably didn't have bird flu.
Probably didn't have bird flu, but I couldn't leave it there in case like the foxes got hold of it or.
Well, I suppose the end would have been the same, wouldn't it? The outcome would have been the same.
Yeah, but there's a difference between getting a lethal injection or getting bashed on the back of the head
I
or
suppose.
being ripped apart by foxes.
Yeah. Yes, I suppose so.
But I could have dispatched it, but I won't dispatch ducks.
No, I like the way you say dispatch. I mean, that's like you're working for a parcel company.
Well, I'm working on behalf of my priest, you know. No, I'm not very good at dispatching ducks. I can't. They're really hard to kill.
Well, I couldn't even touch one, let alone anything else. Don't like that at all.
So there you go. That was my silly duck story.
Oh God, well, that wasn't a very happy ending, was it?
No. No, but it was a good story.
Yeah, oh my God. Well, Kenny was brave. I can't believe he didn't decide to take the dogs for a walk and let you take the duck home.
I know.
Oh, blimey. Blimey. Anyway, what's your plans for the new year then? Anything exciting with your dogs or otherwise?
No.
Okay, excellent. Lucky you spent the last half an hour talking about food then, isn't it?
What about you?
I would like to get back into doing some training. Yeah, I've done very little over the last year, I suppose. And I'd very much like to start competing again with Okan in working trials. So I'm hoping to do that this year, maybe towards, because is a year old, so we can start competing when he's 18 months. He's not trained to do the scale or anything yet. So I might start, hopefully do that, and I need to get his good citizen tests done as well. He hasn't done any of those yet.
Okay. Are you doing working trials? Are you doing UK dog sport? Are you doing both?
Working trials?
Okay, because you were looking at UK dog sport at one point, weren't you?
I did a little bit. Well, I am a UK dog sport judge.
Yeah.
So I've judged a few. I did start, but it's not the same thing. It's not like a proper. I mean, it's nice to people to do, and it's really cool that all breeds of dog can be included. I mean, the last trial I judged, we had 2 border terriers, a German shepherd, a poodle. It's really nice. Whereas working trials, most of it you get border collies, the odd German.
Obedience. Yeah,
it's always the collies, isn't it? But which is boring to watch. I went to the Kennel Club Championships a few years ago, and it was just border collie after border collie after border collie, and it's such a shame because actually, when you see the boxers or the Airedales and whatever doing it, it's really enjoyable to watch. But when it's just constantly the same breed, it's not so much. But no, I think working trials is like proper Kennel Club qualification, isn't it? And it feels more meaty to achieve, really.
And so it's CD, isn't it? Because I did my CD with Bort in New Zealand.
That's right. Yeah, I remember that now.
Yeah, I've got CDX. He had CDX after his name. But it's different over there because over there it's an obedience trial, whereas in the UK you've got the jumps, haven't you? You've got the scale, you've got the spread thing as well, haven't you?
Yeah, we've got a long jump, a clear jump, and a scale. Yeah.
More upright. Long jump.
9 foot long jump and a 6. Well, the scale has just been reduced. I think it's 5'6" now instead of 6 foot.
Oh, okay.
What the hell difference that's?
My height.
I don't know. But yeah, so that's that. So yeah, you've got the jumps, the nose work, and the obedience, and then the tracking elements as well. And
So I did it when I first moved to Scotland. I went up to just outside Edinburgh to do it, but it's too far for me to drive. It's an hour 15, and that's beyond my limit for driving.
Yeah.
I got there and I couldn't get home. It just
no.
But also the tracking really hurts my knees.
Oh, does it? Yeah. Well, the dog's supposed to do it, love, not you.
Yeah, but you're behind the dog, aren't you, on the line?
Oh, I had visions of you on your knees with you using your nose.
No.
Yes, you are behind the dog. I did. Hugo's actually is quite a good tracking dog, and I was at training practice with this lovely sort of older lady with a very little collie, and we laid each other tracks. So because we laid the track, you tend to, when you've laid someone a track, obviously they don't know where it goes. So you follow behind
the dog, don't you?
Yeah. So you follow them, following their dog around this track, so you can say no, not that way or whatever. So of course I plodded along behind her with her little collie, and then Hugo takes off like a bullet, 48 kilo Rottweiler, boom, and poor little woman just running behind me trying to keep up.
The thing that I found really difficult is that I did it with Zig and Dante and Spud. I had little harnesses for all of them.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't lean into them.
Oh, don't know.
No, as soon as the harness was touching them, they kind of backed off like this.
Yeah.
And because I'd drummed it into them, they aren't allowed to put any pressure on the lead, and so I could not get them to lean into the harness on tracking.
No. See, I tend to teach that straight away because I want that, because otherwise you don't know whether you want that boom, so you know that they're on it. Do you know what I mean? You need to know that the dog
wouldn't.
No,
because they're just, the whole right from door to getting that lead on them. It's like you are by my side. You do not get, because you let your dogs quite loose beside you when they walk, don't you? Whereas mine have got to be right beside me.
Yeah, no, it's better that you do that.
And they wouldn't. It was really hard on them.
Yeah, no, I like it when they lean right in and drag me around.
You
No,
won't like it in 10-year time when your knees are knackered.
no, not when you're bad knees. No, I won't. No, but no, it's good. It's good fun. It's a nice sport. It's a nice community as well. It's a nice group, really. Everybody wants you to do well. Well, most people want you to do well. Kind of just to get your qualification, not necessarily to get a place in the competitions. It's not like you want to come first. If you come first, that's lovely, but you don't have to. You just want your qualification, don't you?
That's what I missed, because when I did the trials and I did my CD, obviously CD. So CD, the difference between CD and CDX, just in case anybody doesn't know, is you have to get above a certain level to get your CDX. So you can qualify CD, but then you have to get so many more points to qualify CDX. Is that how it is over here?
We can do so slightly different over here, I think. It's a little bit like breed showing. So if you do an open, so this only applies to CDX, not the other levels.
If you can only get it at a championship show.
Yeah, so you can do an open
you
CD.
can only get it at a champ show.
Yeah, but you don't have to have a CD to go on and get a CDX. You can enter a championship competition straight off your CDX, but you can't do that for any of the others. So to get utility dog excellent, you have to have your UD.
Okay.
So you need your CDX and your UD to go on and do a UDX. And then you need your UDX to go on to do your WD Open and then your WD Excellent.
Okay, so we had to do it at a championship show, so you could do a CD at an open show, but you wouldn't get a CDX. You could only get a CDX at a championship show, and it had to be, I think it was something like over 95 points to get your CDX.
Yeah, I think it's something like that. I'm not sure it's quite that high. Something like that.
Or over 90 or something. I think it's really high though. And he failed the first time. And then he got his CDX the second time. But the first time, one of the things that I do in New Zealand, which I don't do over here, and I remember mentioning it to you, and you were like, oh, I wouldn't like that, is you have to put your dog in a stand stay, go 10 paces, and the judge goes over them.
Yeah. I wouldn't
and
like
that's really a real challenge for the dogs to do that, for you to be 10 paces and then not allowed to move. They've got to stay completely in the stand stay.
Yeah, I don't think I'd do it if I had to do that, to be honest. And the amount of practice you need, I suppose it's like the breed showing, though. You go to Ringcraft, don't you? And the judge, you practice going over the dog. I suppose it's a similar thing because the dog has to stand still apart from you're there. But no, it's a lot of practice involved to get the dog to do that, because if someone just comes up and starts fiddling about with your dog, I mean, they're not just going to stand still, are they?
No. So you want to do your good citizen. I did the bronze in the summer with the dogs, both of them. Cool. And then hopefully I'll do the silver in the spring and then the gold in the summer.
Yeah, that's what
I think it's worth doing. I think they are worth doing.
I think so. I've done Huger's gold, so he's done. But yeah, you just got to work your way through the levels with Okan. And to be honest with you, the last gold I did, it was actually quite a good test. I mean, it wasn't, and it's not an easy nothing.
They're not easy tests.
No, we did. I mean, we did like a recall or recall to heel, drop at a distance.
The gold, yeah. Stop the dog. Go on your bed. You've got to send your dog off, which is a send away.
Yeah, did the bed, we did road walk, we did the examination. Oh, that's the other thing I don't like. I don't get why people need to do that. They have to examine the dog, and now they've got that in silver and in gold, or bronze and silver, one or the other. I can't remember. I think it's silver and gold. The examiner has to examine your dog, and I just think, why do you need to do that?
So, because in bronze you have to groom them.
Yeah, you groom them and show their teeth.
But then I thought in silver you examined them, and in gold they examined them.
No, they've changed it.
Have they? Okay,
in both of those, silver and gold, they examine the dog. And I said to her last time, because she wanted to look at his teeth and everything, and I said, I'll show you his teeth. If you want to see it, I'll show you his teeth. She said, oh no, I've got to do it. And I thought, really? Because the only person that looks at my dog's teeth is me or the vet. Why do you need? Do you know what I mean? I can never get my head around why other people need to examine your dog. It's not.
No. It's
not how it works.
No. And do you go to the classes, or do you just turn up for the assessment?
No, I'm really lucky. I'm an honorary member of Leighton Buzzard Obedience and Ringcraft Club, because they've done lots of our workshops and made me an honorary member. So he just emails me whenever they've got a test coming up, and then I just go along and do the test. Sometimes
Yeah.
I go on. So the tests are always on a Saturday morning, and sometimes I go over. They have classes on a Friday afternoon. So sometimes I go on the Friday afternoon and then go back on the Saturday and do the test.
Right.
But I quite enjoy doing that. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What, going to the class or just turning up and doing the test?
doing the test.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I had that, so I arranged and they just told me when the test was and I turned up. But then I go to obedience. I'm in 2 clubs now, so I go to Burnbank on the Thursday night,
Oh, that's nice.
which is both competitive obedience, and then I go on a Wednesday night as well to Lanarkshire Dog Training Committee, Lanarkshire Canine Training Association.
Oh, that's good. See, I'd like to do something like that. There's not a lot around here. I've been to a couple of training classes, but I don't like being told what to do. And I they're not, just not.
Oh, I've been shouted at a few times on a Thursday night.
Oh, have you? No, I don't like. Well, I don't mind being shouted at, but I don't like when people say don't do it like that. I say, well, I do. I'll do it like this. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah, I've done it. They kind of know that I do a lot of gun dog stuff, so I can adapt, and
Yeah.
they're very good now that I say, well, this is how I do it in gun dogs, and this is how I'm going to continue doing it, because it's
You're probably just the kind of person they don't want. I mean, I wouldn't want you in my class, and I'm not doing it like that.
no,
But
you've just said you do that.
well, I do that. But I mean, I remember when I went to, you remember when I first got IDA, I was going to do competitive obedience. That was the idea. So I went and found this club that does competitive obedience, training. But in order to do that, you'd have to work your way through the other levels. So I started with a puppy class, which is cool. And I remember they were like, we got in this little circle, and then they're like, right, now everybody's going to give treats to the other dogs. I'm like, no,
And you went, no,
that's not happening. And I think they thought I was joking. So one woman went to feed my dog, and I was like, no, you're not giving my dog food. I don't need you feeding my dog. And then it all got a bit sour after.
No, they're really good actually, because a lot of the dogs jump up on each other and other handlers and stuff. I said, I don't want that to happen to my dog, and went, yeah, that's okay, that's fine, just let everybody know. So I did.
Yeah.
And no, they're really good. They are really good, and a lot of them feed each other's dogs, and it's like, don't feed my dog, and it's like, right, okay, that's fine, we won't.
You'll have to get yourself a jumper. Just, leave me alone. You have to get yourself a jumper. Leave me alone or something.
Or
don't
something.
touch my dog.
Or something. And no, they're really good. And like, if the dogs are sitting, I say to them, don't stroke my dog.
Yeah.
He does not need an excuse to get excited. He's excited enough about it.
I know. I don't get people like that. Just keep your hands to yourself. You've got your own dog mix. Just stroke that.
I know. And the other thing is, if you're going to compete and you go in the ring, and one of the stewards is from club, and the dogs always used to getting stroked by the so say for example, we were sitting together in obedience, and you were like, oh, Emirates, and you were giving them a stroke and a tickle and all of that lot. And then I went in the ring and you went, oh, hi, Les. Emirates would immediately want to come to you.
Yeah. Well, I had exactly that actually. I was just saying I examined the UK dog sport. My steward for the day, she was a member of the training club who I was judging for. And we were doing, you have to do, I can't remember if it was 5, I think it's 10-minute outside downstay.
Oh, yeah.
And this little border terrier, my steward was sort of next to me, and I only had this little border terrier just said hello to her. It'd done the jumps and stuff. And we walked from the jumps to where we were going to do the stays, and she had stroked it and all the rest of it. And the dog broke its stay and got up to see her. So I got them to do it again and sent her away, because I didn't think that was a fair test, having her stood there who clearly knows the dog. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, that wouldn't happen if they hadn't,
if they hadn't have fussed the dog.
No.
Yeah. It is really difficult. So but my plan is this year with the dogs is I'm going to compete Emirates in obedience.
Wowzers, that's cool. You don't have stays now.
I know, I found out. That's awesome, isn't it?
Well, I suppose so, but I mean, it was a bit
I
like,
like the stays. I mean, I understand them coming out, um, but it was always a big thing, wasn't it? You know, at the end, so you did all your, so if anybody doesn't know, with the obedience, you do your heel work, and
mhm.
then you do your retrieve, and then later on the more senior classes would do the scent and you know, the scent discrimination, the sendaways, and then you would have the stays at the end of the day. So once everyone had done all the heel work elements, you would then have your big stays. And it was huge, you know, and you'd be sitting in the ring. I mean, I can remember like 40 dogs in an arena doing a downstay,
Yeah. Mm.
and all gone.
Yeah, I think, mind you, I think in obedience that was quite badly managed because we have to do like 10-minute outside downstay working trials, but that's in a field, and you know the dogs are typically in a straight line, not in a circle looking at each other. And we go out of a gate or something, you know, either go behind vehicles or go out of a gate behind a hedge or something like that. But the dogs tend to, they're facing the same way, looking for in the direction that their owner's left.
Yeah.
Whereas obedience, I've seen like literally in a ring where all the dogs are just round four edges of the ring, so they're all kind of,
The
you
dogs
know,
can't say.
yeah, it's
We
not.
we did a 10-minute, and so in CD we did a 10-minute outside downstay, and it was torrential rain. And the judge
Yeah.
told us to, well, had to go, they told us to be quiet because we were making too much noise in the rain. It was
Oh,
in the corner. Um, and then it was a 5-minute sit stay, 2-minute stand stay.
yeah. See, we don't have a stand stay.
No,
I don't know why. I quite like stand stay,
I
but
think they're really good. I think that they kind of separate the men from the boys, don't they?
yeah, I'd like to do a stand stay. But no, I was at a competition once in Oxford, and it had been raining horrible, and the
Uh-huh.
ground was wet, and this poor woman with her Labrador, the dog just wouldn't lay down.
Oh,
And she got a bit rough with it because it wouldn't. It was wet. It was hot. You know, it was water. It was waterlogged, and
uh-huh.
she got a bit rough with it. And then, of course, she burst into tears because she'd got rough with it. Because it's a fun competition. The dog doesn't want to lay down. It's not the end of the world. But she'd qualified up to that point,
Uh-huh.
and the dog wouldn't lay down, let alone stay there, which you could kind of understand. And then, yeah, I felt really bad for her because she wanted to do it,
Uh-huh.
and then yeah, got upset with herself for being, you know, a little bit rough.
Being rough. So what other kind of things can folk do with the dog? So it's about like what new things can we do with our dogs this year? And what new things wouldn't you recommend people did with their dogs?
I think one of the best things people can do is scent work of some kind. That's really cool, and it's lots of time for any kind of dogs. If your dog's got issues with other dogs or whatever, a lot of the time they do it on their own, don't they?
Mhm.
And you can do it in your garden and in your house and whatever when it's
And
raining.
it's really easy to teach.
Yeah, really easy. Dogs love it. Tires them out. Really cool.
Yeah, really, really easy. And all you do is reward the dog on the smell.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. That's it. So we did you use cloves?
No, I haven't used cloves only because I tell you what, I didn't. A girl, I did. I don't know if you remember. I did a scent instructor course a few years ago,
Uh-huh.
and one of the girls on that, she was some kind of practitioner of, I just can't remember what it's called, but she used like herbs and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Ayurvedic?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, she said that the cloves can be used for something or other, and some dogs don't like them, and blah blah blah. And I haven't given you any kind of reason why I don't use them, but basically that's why I don't use cloves. She said, I don't know, I can't remember. I'll have to try and remember what it was, but no, I don't. But I've used like lemon and ginger tea, gun oil.
Uh-huh. Good oil's
Yeah,
a good one. Yeah.
yeah,
So
it's quite
so
handy. I mean,
it's anything really. So you can just put on like a little, like if you're using a bit of gun oil or any kind of oil, you know,
yeah,
um, on a tissue or on a hanky, and then and pair them. You classical conditioning, isn't it? So you go have a sniff, treat,
yeah,
put it down, dogs find it, give it a treat, give it a jackpot, and then the dog will start indicating that it's found it, and then you can start hiding that in different places. Teach your dog to find it.
Yeah. No, it's cool. I do the conditioning with it using like two like large yogurt pots and getting the dog to stick its nose in there, getting the treat with like the scent is in the first pot and the other pot's on top with the treat in it. And then start, removing the treat. But also it starts to get you a bit of an indication going on with the yogurt pot.
Mhm.
Because the dog has to kind of stick its nose in and wait. So no, it's a really fun thing to teach, I think.
And you can get all of these different like scent um
Receptacles.
Tentacles. Tentacles. That sounds like nudicles, doesn't it?
You can get all sorts of,
Tentacles.
you can
What?
get all sorts of, I said receptacles.
Receptacles. Indeed.
You can get all sorts of things to
Hewing.
hide.
It's Rob Hewings, isn't it, who does the scent?
Yeah.
Scent.
Yeah.
He's got a book out on
Yeah.
scent with the dogs.
Yeah. And I think Nicola Collinson, she runs a Scentwork Supply online store. So you can buy your upturned pipes and your little magnetic boxes and all sorts of stuff. It's quite quite a nice thing to be involved in. All dogs can do it, can't they? All the kind
Any
of
dog can do
ages
it.
and abilities and
Yeah.
whatever. It gives them a nice mental stimulation. But yeah, it's lots, isn't there? There's lots you can do with your dog. I think,
Gun dog trainer?
gun dog training, I think it's really important. If you've got a gun dog, then it's really important that you have some kind of outlet for that activity. Do you know what I mean? I see a lot of clients. I always, obviously recommend your book and stuff to gun dog clients because a lot of them are out with their ball throwers, slinging that around the park for hours. I'm like, no, go put that in the bin, go and buy a dummy, read the book, and do some kind, controlled, appropriate training.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, I mean, God, you can just use it all the time. You get your dog to retrieve your gloves, your hat, your mobile phone, your keys.
Yeah, well, you don't even need to be honest with you. I mean, gun dog training, you don't even have to have a gun dog, do you?
No.
Retrieve is a retrieve, isn't it? A whistle sit's a whistle sit. It's not just open to Labradors.
It's not, any breed really.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I think fly ball is the one sport that we wouldn't do, isn't it?
Fly ball I would never recommend.
No.
Don't know why.
Go on, tell us why.
Just like the equipment, the way the dog hits the equipment, the speed of it. The dogs are so adrenalized, it's untrue. You're kind of ragging your dog up and getting it really overexcited, over adrenalized.
Yeah.
They are now protecting their tendons. You see a lot of them have got the tape on their tendons now.
They do hit that box. Well, there's a lot of they hit the box with a lot of force, but equally, like there's a lot of sharp movement, isn't there? Because you want the speed.
Yeah, a lot of quick turning and the thing is, it's been proven that young neutered males are really susceptible to cruciate damage and ligament damage generally.
Yeah.
And then you have like young neutered males doing fly ball, and it's just so twisty, so turny. The grass is wet, they're jumping, they're hitting. There's a big impact when they hit the mechanism that releases the ball. It's just, it's not something I would ever do with my dog.
No. I mean, agility is good, isn't it? But I suppose it's like anything. You have to know what you're teaching or have somebody reliable to teach you what you're teaching.
Definitely. And agility is improving. Can you remember, like I did the talk at the Kennel Club in 2014, and I was talking about the agility equipment and how a lot of it, and I did one with the CFBA as well. The same, I think it was either 2014 or 2015 with the CFBA, and it was the dogs are hitting like the A-frames with speed, going up and down, going across the like the ramp, they're going on the seesaw, and it was just wooden lats. And the dogs would come down really quick, and then they run the risk of breaking toes, splintering claws and stuff because they're going down so fast. They're hitting these wooden lats. But I can't remember her name. Craig Ogilvy's wife. She's designed. Sorry?
Marita,
I was going to say Melissa, and I thought, no, it's not. Marita, she's designed a whole load of equipment that has moved away from the wooden lats, and it's more high intensity foam, I think it is, which is a little bit more protective on things like the toes when they're coming down at speed. So I think the agility equipment's improving.
I think it's a lot different to how it used to be, isn't it? The old
Yeah, I
A4
mean,
and
it's
whatever.
10 years ago that I was like calling out the agility equipment that was being used, and it's really improved. And I think a good agility trainer will do more age appropriate training now as well. So the dog's got to be over a certain age before it can go up and down,
Yeah.
which is good. So agility with the right trainer is really good, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think because you need to,
Dogs.
you have to, your dog has to be warmed up appropriately and cooled down and everything else, isn't it? You need someone to guide you through that process, regardless of what sport you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah.
But,
And then we've got obedience, rallyo, which is a very loose version of obedience.
yeah. Yeah.
Sorry?
Stop here, turn left here.
Yeah,
Sit.
you have these little signs up, say turn left, leave your dog, put your dog in the down, put your dog in the sit. It's not as tight as competitive obedience, but you have to be reasonably close.
Yeah.
You got
man
hoopers.
trailing. Got what?
Hoopers,
Hoopers, yeah.
which is hoops in the ground. Your dogs run through them. It's kind of like agility without the equipment.
Yeah.
Just that together.
Yeah. Got man trailing as well. That's growing sport, isn't it? Lots of that going on.
Yeah. A good citizen dog scheme, which was designed to bring people into competitive obedience.
Yeah.
Become a discipline of its own. What other things can people do with their dogs? They can walk their dogs and train the dogs. That's always a really good thing to do, regardless.
You could do that. You could keep them away from me and my dogs when I'm out in the park. There's all sorts, isn't there? There's loads of stuff you can do with your dogs. There's loads of, I mean, you can even like breed showing and stuff like that, isn't there?
There's breed showing, yeah.
All
Just be
sorts.
careful if you do ring craft though, because they tend to just run one way. You tend always to run left, so the dog's on the inside. So just because the judge stands in the middle of the ring and you run around the judge, so you always tend to go the same way. So that the judge can see the dog's on your left, you always do left-hand circles, just if you're doing it. If you're going to go down the breed thing, not just for your knees, but for your dogs as well, go the other way too, so that you're toning up both sides of your dog.
Good point.
And your knees are getting worn. Both knees are getting worn down, not just one of them.
Yeah, I bet people don't do that.
No, they should.
Yeah, I bet they don't do that. Like you said, it's always on the left, isn't it?
You always run around the judge, but you should do it the other way as well, so that your dog's getting equally toned up.
Very good point.
There you go. Very good point.
Yeah, very good. Have we exhausted dog sports? We've got IGP as well, but that's just a bit like working trials, but a bit different.
Yeah, and then you've got Mondeering.
Yeah, that's a bit intense, isn't it?
Just a little. Just a little intense, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of those things around, aren't there? Yeah.
But where to start, you could get a book, get the Pet Gun Dog book if you're looking to train your gun dog. Little plug. Scent work. I mean, there's loads of scent work stuff. I mean, Rob Hewings started it, really, didn't he?
I don't know who started it, really. He's been doing...
He does the sitting girls. I don't know who started it. He did it more formally. And then, is it Jamie?
Oh, yeah, Jamie Pound.
Jamie Pound, he used to train with Rob.
Oh, okay. He's at UK Sniffer Dogs now, isn't he?
He's at UK Sniffer Dogs.
UK College of Scent Dogs.
And what was I going to say to you? And the Kennel Club's a really good place to start.
Yeah, and to be honest, Google, I mean, you can find, scent work classes in pretty much every area, can't you? Just looking online.
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it doesn't.
trailing and stuff.
It doesn't take much training to be a scent work instructor. It is a scent training instructor. So there's a lot of them around. A couple of days training. It's a weekend workshop or something, isn't it?
I don't know. I think they do different levels of instructor, because I think there's a lot to know about there's not a lot to like conditioning scent, is there? But there's a lot to know about how the olfactory system works and all that stuff. So yeah, I think it's like anything, isn't it? There are levels, aren't there?
Yeah, it depends if you want to do it. I think the scent for fun, isn't there? Which is literally that, and then you can do the more serious scent.
Yeah, I think what is it called? Scentwork UK, isn't it? They do the competitions.
Yeah, Scentwork UK.
Yeah, I think there's another one as well. There's a few. There's another yeah, there's lots. I think people just need to look at their area, don't they? Because there are lots of things you can get involved in. You know, UK Scentwork have competitions nationwide, but then there's another couple of groups that do different stuff, like cool building searches and all sorts of stuff. So yeah.
And then there's loads to think about, but then if you want to stick with the more obedience training, then the Good Citizen's a good one to do.
That's a good starting point for anything, really, isn't it? Because anything you want to do on top of that, you can do. You've got sort of the foundations of basic control, really.
Yeah, always. I mean, it doesn't matter what discipline you do. Sit, stand down, come, walk on a loose lead.
Yeah.
The basics, aren't there? The fundamentals in dog training.
Yeah. Yeah, and you need to get your fundamentals done first, don't you? I was talking earlier on to a guy who he has 2 bed bug detection dogs that he works operationally.
Wow.
And they both pull on the lead like mad. He said it's really embarrassing to go into a hotel foyer and the dogs are out of control because they've never had that fundamental. They're so keen, obviously, to get into the hotel room, to be jumping on the bed and doing their work for their tennis ball, that they just want to get through the foyer. But the foundations weren't done as the foundations. So it's harder to go back onto that now when the dogs have had so many positive rewards for
pulling.
For pulling and getting where they want to get to and doing their job. Mm-hmm. Of course, they walk to heel quite nicely on the way out of the hotel.
Yeah.
When they're done.
You take his legs away from him on the way in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But no, just start with your fundamentals and then the world's your oyster, isn't it?
Yeah. Get the basics in. Get the basics. Sit, stand down, come, walk on the loose lead, stop.
Stay.
Stop, stay. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots you can do. What are we going to talk about next time then?
Next time we are talking about training for us, not training for the dog.
People, qualifications and training for people.
Yeah, and courses and what's available, what's not available.
And what's good and what's bad.
What's good and what's not so good. I wasn't going to say bad, but soon as he said it, yeah, what's good, what's bad. The good, the bad and the indifferent. How's that?
Yeah. There's a lot of that about, isn't there?
Yes.
Well, I should look forward to that conversation in a couple of weeks.
Okie dokie. Have a good one and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Thanks for listening. It's not just gun dogs and not just guard dogs, but all things canine, as we hope you have discovered. Please like, share and subscribe and help us spread a bit of common sense back into dog ownership. And a review wouldn't go amiss either. Catch up with Les and Ross again in about 14 days for more canine conversations. Until next time, stay well and enjoy your dogs. Any dog-related questions or topics, just drop an email to talk@cfba.uk or message us via facebook.com/Gundogs and Guard Dogs podcast.